What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Isaiah Bagnah, your host of the Realist, out here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, man. So glad that we finally get to get back on this little podcast, this community that we got going on. It's been a little while, man. It's been a big transition period. Especially on my end. This today was the last day of our training camp. That's how it works in the CFL, man. Is that our training camp? Well, first of all, our season starts a lot earlier than the NFL does, and so training camp is basically all May. We have our two preseason games at the end of May. That second last week and then the last week, which is the last week that we're about to get into right now. And I'll touch on that a little later, but and then we get right to season, man. First week of June, we head out to Alberta, old stomping grounds, Calgary, Alberta, man, to play the Stampeders. And that'll be my first official CFL game. And then after that, dude, the season goes all the way till November. So it's a cool deal, man. And honestly, I was grateful that I get the opportunity to keep playing ball, and to really say that, I'm a professional, and just continue to stay on this journey that God has put me on and, be as mindful and as present as I can be throughout the whole process. So this training camp has definitely been, has its own challenges for sure, but, it's been an experience, and it's been experience or a situation of growth, positivity, that positive reinforcement, and it's really allowed me to grow as a professional too, man, and handle my business. It's different than the fall camp in college. It's different than it's different environment, different people, different standards, different stakes. People are really out here trying out for their job, and so people don't take off days off. They don't take reps off, and honestly, I feel like it's only made me a better athlete overall. And I feel like there's a lot of differences that I've not only wanted to make, but like needed to make on the field and just with technique and stuff like that, so that I can continue to solidify myself, man, and earn my role on this team and in this defense for the season, especially as a rookie, man. So it's great stuff is going on, man. Blessings every day. I see God's hand on my life, bro. And yeah, man, I'm just super excited. But that's pretty much what's new with me over the past little while here since last time we were up on this episode. Jake, when was the last time we were on this episode, man? Because I've been sitting here trying to think about it. I'm like, man, what was the last time? Because it was right before the
draft. It was right before the draft.
Correct. Right. And we sat here and talked about guys who we're excited to see, where they end up and all that good stuff. And yeah, man. So like, what's been your takeaway with, just like a recap of the draft and just seeing where everybody's going? Like, what's your takeaway of it, man? Like, I know it's hard to tell because, like, obviously people, the season doesn't start necessarily just yet, but so far, man, like we've been pretty good with who we expected to get picked up and have an opportunity.
Yeah. I think the biggest surprise for me out of the draft was that Caleb Etienne didn't get picked up right away. Supposedly he got a really good undrafted free agent contract from what I heard, and ended up right where he wanted, and he got basically money as if he was drafted. So I'm sure from the money standpoint, he's good. But that surprised me. Did that one surprise you?
Kind of. Yeah. You know what surprised me the most? Not a single person got drafted from the BYU football team.
Yeah.
From the 2025 BYU football program, not a single person got drafted.
Yeah. And I don't know, dude. What do you think that says? Like, do they think that they still didn't believe even after the bowl game, even after everything? Like, they just thought, oh, like it just happened, or like, what is that? What do you think that means?
You know, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. As a matter of fact, so the cover of the NCAA, the new NCAA game
Hmm.
for the next upcoming years coming out, and I was looking just at the cover and stuff like that, and just because they include all different kinds of teams on it, different kind of players, stuff like that. They have all like I'm talking about like all different kind of teams on it. You know what's the one team that I didn't see on
Who's that?
BYU?
Yeah,
Arguably one of the most well-known college football teams, especially after this last season
yeah.
in the world. Never mind just the country. In the world, nowhere to be found.
Dude, I travel, for work, and almost everywhere I went, people were like, "Hey, you guys had a great football season. Like, you guys did really well." Like, even some people who aren't even sports people, they knew about what you guys were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think that is interesting.
Isn't that crazy, man? I don't know. Maybe it's the whole like religion thing. People don't want to deal with that, but I don't know. It's crazy, bro. But that's my biggest takeaway from the draft and this whole uh chapter of these guys' life and mine. Is
Yeah.
that nobody. I mean, although like I didn't get drafted in the NFL, I was the only one who got drafted and is into the CFL. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, crazy.
So
But
you went did you go ninth overall, Zay, or how did that work out? Tell us about getting drafted in CFL. I'm sure everyone wants to hear about that.
yeah, so I mean, there's let me see. So there's the Edmonton Elks, Calgary Stampeders, BC Lions, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Hamilton Tiger Cats, Ottawa Red Blacks, Montreal Alouettes, Toronto Argonauts. I think I'm pretty sure that's it. So yeah, 9 teams.
Mhm.
Yeah, nine teams, and so technically, I it worked out for me being on the numbers count of it all. Turned out to be basically like a first round pick.
Yeah.
Uh, however, a team, I believe the Edmonton Elks, they lost they lost their draft pick
Oh.
because of something. And so did the BC Lions because I believe they either traded it or they something happened.
Mhm.
So Calgary had 2 picks in the first round. And honestly, I thought I was going to go to Edmonton. I mean, I was
Mm.
born in Edmonton. They were the team that sought after me the most during the whole, CFL combine and the pre-draft stuff. Other than Hamilton, honestly, Hamilton actually is crazy because Hamilton came down. They sent one of their guys down to the Big 12 Pro Day
Yeah.
and like came all the way out there and meet me and talk to me and stuff and like hang out and interview. And it was really cool. But at the same time, I just didn't really think much about it because I was like, okay, well, it's just they're doing their job.
Right.
And we'll see how it works. But no, it's cool because like they really did want me throughout this whole process, stuff like that. I'm grateful that I got picked up by them because man, like I don't want to just be like a person who goes somewhere just because, last resort, nothing like that. It's one thing I've been really thinking about, especially for the past few months, is like don't go somewhere where you're tolerated, go to somewhere where you're celebrated.
Ooh, I like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? And so it's just really cool how everything worked out. However, though, I thought I was gonna go to Edmonton. Then I found
Yeah.
out they had their pick. And I was like, okay, well, BC, they were, other than Hamilton, the next team that kind of was showing a lot of interest for me as well.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, they lost their pick as well. So now I'm like, oh, shoot, maybe I'm not gonna be a first round pick now. Like maybe And honestly, it doesn't really matter. Like I just
No, but
want,
it's nice
it's
though.
still cool.
It's still
Right?
cool.
Hell yeah, right? But so I ended up being the first pick of the second round due to those lost picks. So it was still cool, man. I remember just sitting there. I was down in DC at my agent's spot, had my family on Zoom because everybody was gone. Everybody's in their own place, right? And uh it was cool, man, when they called me and excuse me. And yeah, it was a great memory, man. I'm never gonna forget it.
Right.
The next thing you know, like a few days later, I'm driving all the way out here to Hamilton, Ontario, and getting right to it, man.
Bro, did you drive the Benz all the way to DC and then you drove the same Mercedes Benz all the way to Canada?
Yep. As a matter of fact, this is exactly what I did. I drove the Benz from Provo, Utah, all the way to DC, Washington, or Washington, DC, my fault. And then I actually drove down to North Carolina where my mom's
Right.
at. Spent a couple days with her there. And I drove from North Carolina all the way up to Hamilton, Ontario,
Yeah.
Canada. But if I'm being honest, though, it wasn't that terrible of a drive. It was only like 12 hours,
Okay.
North Carolina. So, because it's East Coast, right? Now, if I had to go back West Coast, that'd
Yeah.
be an issue. You know what I'm saying? If I had to come all the way back, that would be a problem.
Bro, did you drive Provo to DC in one shot?
Yep.
Ooh.
So what I did is honestly, I don't recommend people doing this. You got to be cut out for it, man. I'm telling you, you got to be built different. This isn't me gassing myself in that, but
Yeah.
bro, like I stopped like twice to close my eyes,
Yeah.
not including the gas station stops. Like I had to stop like every 5 hours for gas, but I only stopped twice during that whole time just to close my eyes for like 15, 30 minutes. And I just got right back to it, man.
Okay.
The whole time. So yeah, pretty much just a straight shot through.
No
through
caffeine or lots of caffeine?
Honestly, not that much caffeine. Not as much as you would expect.
Okay.
A lot of podcasts, like a lot of, stuff like a lot of phone battery, but
Yeah.
other than that, man,
Yeah.
no, it was cool. It was good vibes, and
Okay.
I had something to look forward to. And so yeah, but it was a journey, let me tell you.
I bet, dude, it sounds like it.
Yeah, these past couple months now,
Yeah.
whatever, couple months now has been different. It's
Yeah.
been a whole other journey, but like I said, man, just trying to be as present and appreciate all as much as I can.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, dude, there's a connection between you and something that happened at BYU recently. I want to know if you have any insight into it. You played with Hank Bachmeyer at Boise, right?
That's correct. I did.
And I'm sure like his little brothers, both of them, Bear and Tiger, just transferred to BYU. Dude, tell me about that. What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, man. First, first and foremost, the Bachmeyer family, man. Those guys, they breed competitors, straight ballers, honestly. And the thing is that I just think back to because Hank is my good friend. We came in the same year together in 2019 at Boise State, and
Yeah.
actually we both left Boise State the same year. He left a couple weeks before I did, and so anyways, he balled out, man. I remember it was awesome to see just how much he really grew in that time and stuff like that. But honestly, with that being said, though, just knowing how great of a person he is on and off the field, I've been able to even see that in his brothers, man. And Tiger did his thing at Stanford. He was literally like the second best receiver that they had.
Yeah.
Their first receiver, who's actually Canadian, he just got drafted, so he's gone. So honestly, it's a big loss for Stanford, but huge game for BYU.
Yeah.
And it's even bigger because he's got Bear.
Yes.
And not to put any pressure on the guy, even though they're pretty good at handling pressure.
Yeah.
But if in my opinion, man, he can do some crazy things, and I see him being the next like Zach Wilson.
I like that. I like to hear that.
Starting young, man, starting fresh. Of course, you gotta let you gotta worry about some things going on in that quarterback room. But truthfully, I see that kid's future being bright, man. And
Yeah.
I see him having a really big impact. So yeah, it's a big pickup for BYU right there.
Yeah, dude, that is. I heard just like smoke rumors. I don't know if this is real, substantial or not, that he did pretty well in spring ball, and there was discussion about him being the starter possibly at Stanford. And they've got an established guy there. They have a good quarterback there on that. So, dude, there's potentially like BYU might have scooped the #1 wide receiver for them going into their season and possibly starting quarterback.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, so whichever way things go at BYU and for their offense, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I think there's guys there. And dude, maybe you didn't get a seat as much because you're going against the twos and they may not taking deep shots. But did you ever see Trayson's deep ball, bro? I think Trayson's got a really nice deep ball too.
Yeah, I have seen it, and he's gotten me.
Yeah.
On the defense on it, especially during fall camp and spring ball. And so,
Okay.
dude, he's a baller, man. Trayson's a baller. I can see him definitely having an impact, and yeah, that quarterback room got some ballers for sure, man.
And McKay's kind of your scrambler, gunslinger, like make things happen with his legs and then throw accurate balls after that too. So like I like all three of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. They'll be good. They'll be solid. And they have their own, skill sets that they can provide for the offense. This just comes down to what A-Rod likes, man, and what he feels like will fit the offense the best.
Right.
And the thing is that I see Bear having all of those traits and all those skill sets.
Yep.
So we'll see how these guys come back, man. It'll be a good competitive off season. We'll see how it shakes out, on and off the field, and shoot. Good luck, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're gonna be working, so probably won't get out to a game or anything. But if you get a chance, we should connect.
Well, actually, that's not true. So, no matter what, the Grey Cup, the final game, championship game in the CFL is in November.
Okay.
So, you never know, man. Maybe I could come out to a game or something like that.
You better.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in Utah though, for sure.
Whatever, dude. We'll see.
Come on, I got to, man. I gotta go see Chubby's. I gotta go pull up to Chubby's, man. Get me a little burger or something.
Absolutely, dude. Better not forget about all of us.
No, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
That's awesome, dude. And then, dude, so the CFL, Kevin and Craig and I, we were all like testing our CFL knowledge. I'm like, I know the field's wider, I know it's longer. And we're trying like, what else is different? Like, we knew something with the kicking was different and all this stuff. But dude, for those who are uninformed, tell us about the CFL, how it's different.
Differences of the CFL, huh?
Yeah, tell us about it. What do you think about it? Like, what has it changed your game? How you played different, or is it not that different? Is it really different? Like,
yeah, I mean, let's be real. Like at the end of the day, it's football, right? And especially on defense. Obviously, there's the little details of certain things, but truthfully, man, it's not as different in my position as you would expect, but there are some things that are a little bit different. Especially for me personally, like that, there's a yard off on the line of scrimmage that you can't interfere with, right? You can't come across. So that in itself kind of makes the footwork of pass rush moves and the timing of everything switches it up a little bit, makes everything kind of like delayed.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it honestly it helps out the quarterback a lot. And so you got to think about too, the quarterback the offense only has 2 downs.
Mm.
And so they're mostly doing quick passes, trying to get that yardage, that quick yardage, so that they can still be in, because like, look, second and long is essentially third and long,
Right.
right? And second and short is third and short. And it's crazy too because one thing that I noticed, and it's been really kind of messing with me a lot, but in the red zone,
Yeah.
passing a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, the
The-
end zone's 20 yards deep, right?
To say exactly, the end zone's 20 yards. So man, like think about it. They're on the 20-yard line. They have 40 yards to work with.
It's like there's no red zone.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? And the field in itself is already 110 yards. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is wider. I remember in the preseason game, I was just running around. I was like, damn. Like actually, I was on punt return for this one rep,
Yeah.
and I was holding up my guy. I'm doing my job. I'm doing good, and I'm running down with him, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm running a lot right now. And I look down the field, and my receiver just caught the ball, and he's all the way down there, man. Like it's crazy just how big the field is, and it requires a lot. Not that it's bad, like a lot of running, but there's a lot of space to cover,
Yeah.
and it changes the way that you utilize your fundamentals and technique, man. It changes a lot of things.
You feel
And
like all the angles you take are just like a little different.
yes, every angle that you take is different. That's the craziest part about like your pass rush angle is different, your pursuit angle is different, all these things, man. So yeah, even like yeah, there's a lot of things I can go on about, small
Oh
details,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a little different, man. But it's cool, it's fun, and although it is harder to get after the passer, I believe it still allows you to get after him more,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, because every down almost you're honestly thinking is pass, and you're reacting to the run. Whereas in when I was at BYU, like literally our defense was
Stop the
you
run.
are stopping the run every down unless it's third and long,
Yeah.
right? And you're reacting to pass rather than the other way around. So that's just been a cool little change. Those are some differences with Canadian football and stuff like that. But honestly, dude, it's cool. This association I'm with is filled with great people, great coaches, a lot of great talent. That's the thing that people don't realize is that I'm surrounded by NFL veterans.
Mm.
Like it's crazy, man. I didn't expect to be around this many NFL veterans and people who have been there and stuff like that. Like every position room, truthfully, if even honestly, if you're not Canadian, you are like a seasoned NFL vet. And when I say seasoned, I'm talking like 2 years in the league, 3. Some guys even 4 or 5.
Right.
And so it's cool just to learn from those guys and see just how they uh, walk, like represent themselves and be professional and stuff like that. And I try to learn and ask as many questions as I can. And, just it's just really cool to be a part of that. But it's just something you don't think of, man. You think of CFL and you're like, there's just a bunch of Canadians running around up there. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that, man. There's some real ballers up here. And so
Yeah.
that's really cool to see. And, you know, just to know that I'm a solidified professional, man. That's the environment and group of people I'm surrounded by.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you a personal question?
Absolutely.
Have you found your local ward or branch yet up in Hamilton?
Not yet, man. Not yet. You know, we got stuff going on Sundays, and so
Okay.
I gotta figure out a time when, but I can. But nah, man. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to. You know, and so we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
For the time being, you know, I'm still keeping
Working.
keeping up with, you know, my relationship with Christ and all that stuff. Yeah, man, I'm blessed, bro.
Yeah.
Blessed. Yeah, I gotta figure that out though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want the updates of like the Hamilton third ward or whatever it's called. You know, like I want the gossip, the tea of, you know, what's going on in the Hamilton Tiger Cats third ward up there, you know?
Right. Yeah, dude, it's different, man. I feel like pretty sure there's only 2 wards up here
Okay.
in the whole city.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot different than Utah.
Yeah. Well, way different than Utah.
So I'm intrigued by it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that all goes down, how that works, man.
Yeah, we need a report, dude. We need to know.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things I didn't report on. I still haven't even been to the city yet. You know, I've
Yeah.
been up here for this whole training camp. So yeah, next episode I'll come back with a lot of feedback, a lot of, you know,
Yeah.
just to report up on this video. You know.
Yeah. So
Uh,
all right, dude. We got our next podcast. We're like stacked up. I might have to cut it short, dude. That's my bad.
Hey, no worries, man. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. And I appreciate you, Kev, being here. And, you know, it's always, and I appreciate y'all for listening. You know, it's always great to get up on the Realist. And I know we got, we taking a little bit of time, you know, handling some business, but, you know, hopefully we can get back to some more recurring and common episodes like we used to.
Yes.
A schedule, man. And yeah, but anyways, like I said, this is Isaiah Banner, your host for the Realist. I appreciate y'all for listening and checking in once again. And I look forward to seeing y'all next time.